Hey members, Mariah here. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are doing really great. So I want to take a look at your love life, right? New love. I want to see what is coming in for your 2026. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently. Of course, most of you guys, if not all of you, are Leos, but I want to do your sun sign and your Venus sign, since Venus in astrology and in our natal charts represents not only our money, appreciation, and beauty, but our love lives. So if you are a Leo sun with a fire Venus, so you could have a Venus in Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, this is for you. And then we're going to do Earth Venus, Water Venus, and Air Venus with the Leo sun. So find the time stamp, if I can speak, find the time stamp below that matches your sun and Venus combination, and let's hop on into it. Okay, so we are going to start with my Leo suns that have a fire Venus. I want to see, as far as new love, what is coming in for you for 2026. So let's take a look. Let's see what is going on for your love life. So tell me, for the Leos within fire Venus, Aries Venus, Leo Venus, Sagittarius Venus, tell me about the new love, right? The new significant connection that they'll be meeting in 2026. We have communicate. We have intuition. We have challenges. Moving on in the reverse. So I think this is interesting because you're going to be meeting somebody and dealing with somebody who is going to awaken the self-awareness when it comes to how we communicate in relationships, how we communicate with our partner, and also vice versa for them as well. You may find that this connection may be a little bit challenging, whether you two deal with communication troubles or issues, or just how we relate to each other, how we comprehend what the other partner is saying, how we're expressing our thoughts and feelings. As they say, sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it. And I think sometimes from the ego or pride, we may want to take certain actions, but your intuition is going to be the one leading the show. Your intuition is going to be the one leading the show. I think your intuition is going to tell you to, hey, Leo, slow down, maybe process this, right, before we become reactive. Or your intuition may be telling you, hey, we have communication issues for a reason. I'm trying to work through these things, but my intuition is telling me maybe this is too much of a challenge. So I don't see you necessarily leaving this connection in your 2026. So let's say you're single now, it's still the end of 2025. You meet somebody, there's going to be moments where the communication issues are going to make you want to leave, or the communication issues may make this person pull back. But then again, you guys come back together, try to talk through it, work through it, and move on to the next set of, okay, how do we overcome our challenges with communication? So I mean, you could look at it as an on and off, but I don't see it as an on and off as you guys go off, meet other people, then come back together. This just reminds me of like, okay, we're having troubles. You go in your corner, I go in my corner. Let's take some time to decompress. Then let's come back together and work things through. Tell me, why is communicate here for Leo sun with an Aries Venus? This came out in the reverse. Communicate, the Fool in the reverse. Tell me more about the new love here. We got the Moon and the Knight of Wands. So you may feel like when it comes to vulnerability, this person just struggles to do that. It's like this person can be passionate about everything else in the relationship, enjoying each other, spending time with each other, the sex, the chemistry, but when it comes down to emotional vulnerability, you may feel like this person kind of wears a veil. They keep those things hidden close to the chest. They may not feel as comfortable. I get also to somebody's vulnerability being weaponized against them. So they may have dealt with partners where they opened up and were vulnerable, and then let an argument happen or a disagreement come up. Now that partner is throwing up this person's vulnerabilities of what they told them. And that has created some level of insecurity or distrust in fully expressing things that may be an issue, problems that they may be having. So instead of this person being outright, you may see them become avoidant or distant. This comes back into the communication issues because that fear of vulnerability. Tell me, why is this intuition here? You got the Justice and the Four of Wands. Page of Swords. So this is your intuition speaking with that Page of Swords on the bottom. Let me see challenges really quick before I break down intuition, because it's a weird combo. Why is challenges here? For my Leo suns with an Aries Venus. We have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Swords in the reverse. One more for challenges. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay. And then Nine of Cups. So this is a person you're dealing with that is going to feel like fulfillment for you. They are. I think the struggle here is with the intuition. You may not feel like, in one breath, you may be able to see a future with this person. In the other breath, it's hard to see a future with this person. It's like when things are going good and they are able to be expressive and they are able to open up, it's like, oh, things are moving. I can see this going somewhere. I can see things developing. But then soon as they go into this fear or insecurity about being vulnerable or having to maybe address something that may cause a stir in the relationship, or they just don't feel comfortable putting that out there because of what they've dealt with their own emotional past, those moments are going to make you feel like, you know what, maybe I can't work with this. You know, how can we have a partnership, something that's long-term in balance, when certain conversations come up or topics or situations happen and then you start to shut down on me, or you're not opening up. It's supposed to be us. Why are you even defending yourself from me? So I think in moments like that, it's like your intuition may feel a little shoddy with this person. You may wonder if your intuition is fine-tuned or if it's working appropriately, because you're going to feel your intuition ping you in both scenarios. When things are great, your intuition is like, oh, I think we're good, we're moving. And then when things go to the side, it's like my gut is telling me, no, don't, maybe this is not it. So your challenge is walking away. You may find it hard to walk away, but then on the flip side, you may feel like the give and take in this situation is not always balanced. And I don't think this is necessarily about effort, but physically, right? Showing up, spending time with you. I think this is more about effort when it comes to emotional intimacy, verbal intimacy, being able to have those tough conversations when situations get a little bit uncertain, or we have questions, or we see certain behaviors or patterns. So you got somebody here that you're definitely going to be feeling, but I think it's going to be a little bit tricky here to deal with. Tell me, who is this person? So we see a tricky start, a tricky dynamic for my Leo suns and Aries, not Aries Venus, but Fire Venus. Tell me, who is this person exactly that Leo sun with the Fire Venus will be dealing with? We got the Therapist. Supportive and insightful, he'll understand your problems but bill you for it. And let's get one more. The Tattoo Artist, edgy and creative, leaves a mark whether you like it or not. So a person can definitely be tattooed. There's something trendy about their look. So if they are older, they may still like to put themselves together really well, or they may dress youthful or look youthful for their age. If you are similar in age, again, this may be somebody that has tattoos, could have piercings, or again, I just get like a polished, refined look, but still, it's not too stuffy. They still have a bit of, I get streetwear. So there's still a relatability or a feeling of, okay, they're not overly trying to show off or be flashy, but they look good. They look good with, it's like being clean cut with an edge. I don't know how to put that. I hope that makes sense. It's like being clean cut with an edge. What I think is interesting is that this person, and I think that's why it's going to be a hard thing to walk away from this, because on one tone they understand because they've been through. So they get experience. They have the life wisdom. They have the know-how of how to navigate certain dynamics within a relationship, and they also have a great listening ear. They're able to understand what you've been through, empathize, and make you feel seen. I do think this is somebody who has heat, but they've been through the heat, right? So this is lived experience. But on the flip side, they do have that part of them where they may need to see a therapist, but they may not want to open up or feel like they need that level of help, or they may feel like they're not in a position to start working through those things. It's like somebody being aware at the same time, but also so aware that they feel like they don't need any help because they're aware of everything that they know they're doing wrong. It's like they know they have communication issues with vulnerability. They know they may have intimacy issues. So they're self-aware of their stuff. But there's that part of them that denies needing the help because it's like, well, I know I got these things wrong, but because I know it, I know that I have to make these changes. I don't need somebody else to tell me to make these changes. But then it's like, okay, well, when are you going to make the changes then if you know? That's where the question marks comes in. So it's a self-aware person, but the action on that self-awareness is a little bit sketchy here. This could be somebody with either a fair to a deep olive skin complexion. So no matter the ethnicity, I get them either being very light in their origins, or they have like this, it can range all the way down to like a deep olive undertone with their skin complexion. Even if they're fair, they look like they can tan really well, like that golden bronze tan, like they have those warm hues here. Not to get too descriptive about this person. Tell me more. How will these two meet? Let's see. I'm trying to figure out, what do I want to use for how y'all meet? How will these two meet for Leo Sun with the Fire Venus? We got false person, marriage, courthouse. I don't think they're well, no, let me take that back. It tells me more about the dynamic around you two meeting versus the environment itself. So you can meet this person really anywhere, but the circumstances is this person, when you meet them, they recently have gotten out of either a marriage or a relationship. The other way I can look at this is that once you start talking to them, you're going to see that they have very stark views when it comes to marriage and relationships. They can be maybe far left, where they're very open when it comes to relationships based on the stage of life that they're in now, and maybe have done the marriage thing or done the relationship thing. Now maybe their views are a little bit more open and dynamic. If excuse me, if they're not coming out of a situation like that, this would be the type of person who it's like they come off like they're looking for something, and I do believe they are, but I don't think you're going to know about what they came out of or what they've been through initially. Not the depth of it. I think if you would have known or know initially what they really, really have gone through with a past partner, it may turn you off a little bit, because you may say, well, have you had enough time to heal, or have you had enough time to process that? That's what I mean. Somebody hasn't had enough time to really process the lessons and what they've learned from the past relationship. And, again, I don't know where it's not saying, but when you meet this person, I don't know if they're fully ready. Not to say that they won't try, but I don't know if they're fully ready, because I can see them having issues with vulnerability, which stems back to this prior connection and relationship that they are aware of, that they have now these issues, but they're also aware that they're not really doing much about it at this point in time. So they may not be ready as of yet when they come across your path when you meet this person. So I can understand why we're having some hiccups with the connection, where it's really great until we start getting down to the, we have to be adults and talk about certain situations, or how you made me feel, or how this hurt me, or, I haven't heard from you. When we start getting in these dynamics and things play out, of course, we're human with flaws. So this person's not going to show up perfect every time. But when it's time to own up to those things, this person does not feel comfortable expressing how they feel and why something made them react the way that it made them react. So they'll rather hold it in, and that's because they haven't fully went through the process of not only understanding what they had to learn from that prior relationship or marriage, but integrating those lessons. So tell me, how will you feel about this person? All right, so let's clean all this up. Tell me, how will my Leo sons with Aries Venus feel about this person? And then I'm going to see how you will end up feeling about this person. How many we got here? Okay. So we have, I find myself thinking about you a lot. Now, mind you, this is how they will end up feeling about you, right? I find myself thinking about you a lot, thinking of you. There's so much we can learn from each other. My love life isn't really a priority at the moment. And that's what I mean. I think you're going to catch this person at that weird phase in their life. That's why that false mask is there, because let's say on the flip side, they can put up a front of like, yeah, I do want love, but on the inside, they just haven't processed. Not saying that they're missing or longing, because I don't get that. But I mean, when you've come out of a relationship, you got to let that residue clear off you of what you've been through, especially if you've been victimized to a degree in that prior relationship. You don't want to hold other people to your past. And I think that mental, emotional process hasn't been fully done. That's why we get this, my love life isn't really a priority at the moment. But I think when they come across you, they're going to have the face that it is. And I think they're actually going to try and make something work with you. So I don't think just because they're in this energy, they're wanting to BS you around or play games. I just think once y'all get together, they will and you will be able to see, hold on, you haven't really integrated what you've learned from that past relationship. You really haven't integrated yet the healing. I know you want something new with me, but maybe you need to do some more reflection here. And I think that's just more so internal thoughts you may have with this person, not initially, but as the connection goes on, because your intuition is like 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So you're going to be of two minds with this person. And I think you're going to be of two minds with this person because you're going to see that they genuinely want to try. That's the thing. It's not like they're coming in and want to BS you. I'm not ready. I'm heartbroken, etc. I don't get heartbreak energy. But I just think that integration part needs to be really looked at. And because I do think this person is somebody who really wants you, you're the person I want to do life with. I think you're great, but I'm worried what other people will think. Because this person is emotionally invested in you, or will be, and you will too, it makes you more willing to stick it through, especially with that fire Venus. Like, when you want something, you want something. And sometimes you'll push things to the limit to get what you want. I think this person would genuinely want you, but what comes with the process of working through the challenges is something you have to determine if you would want to deal with. I think this person would be willing to work through those challenges with you, but it is a challenging dynamic, Tell me, how will Leo with an Aries Venus feel about this person? Whoa. We got a extra card. Extra card. Oh, jeez. I'll show you what I'm putting to the side so you know I'm not doing anything wonky. These are just like the standard cards that come with it. So your energy is really powerful here. We got, you are incredibly alluring to me. I think we have a pretty unique connection. I often wonder if you feel the same way. If you ask me, I will say yes. And bottom of the deck, wow. I love everything about you and I'm totally in love with you. So you have more I'm certain energy with your spread. This person has I'm certain, But there's a catch. I'm certain, but I'm still working through these issues that I'm self-aware that I have. I'm not oblivious. But confronting them, do I really feel like doing that right now? Not necessarily. Let's see if we can skate by with a new connection without really having to do all that. And maybe just through osmosis of being with somebody new, I'll naturally heal, which never works. Where on your energy, it's like, I'm ready. I am in love with you. And I don't get desperate, clingy, needy energy from this. I will tell you if I did, I don't get that. But I do get you being very certain about how you feel about this person. So a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about, where just hearing it out loud, you may say, I wouldn't want to deal with that. That's not somebody for me. I wouldn't want to deal with a person who is self-aware, but they aren't, integrating the lessons learned. And, I'm dealing with somebody with all these challenges. This is still a timeline. So we're still talking about the progression of feelings developing. And if your energy shows that you would still be willing to stay, even though you got one foot out the door eventually later on, but you would still be willing to stay despite the challenges, well, that lets me know your emotional foundation is really intact. That lets me know, however, the connection progresses between you two from the beginning is enough to make you fall for this person, is enough to make you want to see a future with this person, is enough for you to say, you know what, I think our connection is unique. It is special. I really do love everything about you. So this person shows up in a way that makes you fall in love with them, right? So I'm not going to take that from them. I think once you get out of the honeymoon phase, that's more the energy I'm talking about, right? Since we're looking at all of 2026, you may deal with this lovey honeymoon energy. Let's say you meet this person in February, you may deal with this honeymoon energy from February to June. And then from July onwards, now you're having to deal with the reality because that honeymoon bubble has burst. So keep your mind open that you're not going to see quite a lot of what I'm talking about until later on. That's just a heads up of what you're going to have to deal with when it comes to the reality of this. Out the gate, though, this is beautiful. This is truly beautiful. Let's see here. How will this connection between Leo Sun and Aries Venus develop? How will this connection between Leo Sun? I'm saying Aries. Jeez, I keep thinking of Aries Venus. How will this connection develop between a Leo Sun and Fire Venus? So my Leo Suns with Fire Venus, how will this connection develop? So maybe you have an Aries Venus, they would have an Aries Venus, or Aries is strongly placed in their chart. So how will this connection develop? We have the Three of Cups. Two of Pentacles. Here comes that intuition again with the High Priestess. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Ten of Wands. It's a challenging connection. I think about people who meet their twin flames. I'm not saying this is a twin flame dynamic. Three of Swords in the reverse and the Six of Wands. This reminds me of like twin flames where they go through those periods of challenges where they get to be with each other and then life pulls them apart and they have to do their own separate things, grow, learn, heal, and then maybe they can come back together. Doesn't work, gotta separate again, try it. And sometimes you'll have multiple efforts of trying before you get it right, and sometimes twins never come together with their partner. I don't see that kind of fatality here. Again, I'm not saying this is your twin, but I think there is victory on the other side of this, but it is challenging. Now, I'm not saying this is struggle love where this person's broken, you're having to finance them, or you're not stable, so now they're having to come and finance your life, or all right, give me 1 second. Sorry about that. I just didn't want the fire trucks to be all in the background. It just made me lose my train of thought, those dang on fire trucks. Let me ask, what's up with this King of Pentacles in their verse? That's what I was talking about, struggle love. I don't get this being struggle love. I don't. I think this, I do think at times the connection will feel overwhelming. I think it's going to feel overwhelming with emotion of how you feel for this person. I think it's going to feel overwhelming from the joy. This is like a dopamine. Ooh, jeez. This reminds me of like a dopamine rush. No wonder, no wonder, no wonder. Where I'm getting on, at least on your side, you know, you're in, and then some moments, mind you, it's later on the line, but some moments you're in, and then other moments it's like, I don't know if I can keep doing this. This, when you have high highs with this person, they're really high. Like I'm getting like a dopamine hit. Like, oh my God, I feel really great. But the lows, when communication issues start to arise, and you don't know what's going on, or they don't know what's going on, maybe you become reactive to their communication issues, right? And now they don't know what's going on with you when all you're doing is responding to their behaviors. Those type of things are going to create difficulties. Somebody being able to be steadfast. And I don't mean just with their lifestyle, their finances, their loyalty, their level of respect, but I mean somebody being able to be steadfast when it comes to safety, right? We need emotional safety, especially in communication. And if you feel at times, you know, communication is a challenge with you two, it's going to be hard to feel safe to open up or to express things, right? Especially if we are dealing with a person who's not receptive. All right, give me one more. Sorry. Okay. Long story less long, these fire trucks, man. So I can see that being an issue. I think the beautiful thing about this, though, is that at the end, it's like you guys are able to overcome this. If you want to. Because I got this 10 of Wands, 3 of Swords in the reverse, but the 6 of Wands. So I can see you two being able to make your way out on the other side of this. I think the reason why it's not showing me outright, okay, well, you guys are going to be in a fully committed relationship or married by the end of the year, is I think this is going to be predetermined based on your own individual situation. Because on the bottom of the deck we got 7 of Swords. Some of y'all might just say, you know what, I'm just gonna go. You know, you may just break away, you may just slowly dissolve yourself from this relationship, or feel like, you know, if we can't make the communication work, and that's our main line of trust with the 7 of Swords here, right? If communication is our main line of trust, and we keep struggling in that department, do I want to continue to deal with this? So I would say for my Leo sons with Aries Venus, you definitely have a chemically intense, right? That chemistry, it's very intense. I think you're going to have a pretty heated and a visceral way kind of connection with this person. But when it comes down to the core, I think you two are going to have some struggles that you'll find yourself and this person having to deal with throughout most of the year of communication. If it's worth it to you, and I think it'd be worth it to them, but if you both decide to really work through those issues, specifically them, if it's not you with the communication issues, I can see you guys overcoming. I can see you guys actually overcoming this successfully. So I'm going to leave that there for y'all. All right, and let's get to our next group. So I want to take a look at my Leo sons with Earth Venuses. So my Leo sons with Earth Venuses, tell me about new love for their 2026. My Leo sons with Earth Venuses, tell me about their love life for 2026. We have patience, just like our Earth Venus. Just a few more months, good things come to those who wait. So with my Leo sons, Earth Venuses, you may not see, oh, I love this. You may not see love come in right away at the top of 2026, so your love life may not improve if you're single, or you may not meet the ideal person until maybe later on in the year. We got fire sign and guardian. I don't think it's like end of the year, but this may be more towards like spring going into summer. When you come across this person, they can have a fire sign, like I said, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, And then we have guardian here. A loved one watches over you. Bottom of the deck is caution. I love this, especially for minds who have been in a prolonged single season, or the ones out there who are recently hurt or hurt by the time you meet this person, right? From a connection or a situation. This is like a guardian angel, maybe a passed away relative, loved one, a deceased friend, a deceased family member who loves you, who's taking care of you on the other side. They're sending somebody in for you. And if you don't have anybody on the other side that you have that deep bond connection to while they're still here on earth, this would be your spirit team, right? Your guardian angels, your spirit advisors who are looking out for you, that are going to send you somebody in, right? You've been patient, you've dealt with your situations, you've been in those prolonged seasons, and you've been cautious with your heart because it's been burned. And your angels know that, and this is why they're wanting to send somebody in for you. Okay. Tell me more about who this person is. And you're going to feel like they're a guardian. You're going to feel like they're a protector. If you're masculine, then you may make your person feel like this. You may make your person feel like you're their protector, or you're their guardian, right? That's the role you're being called to step into, is to be this for somebody. Otherwise, somebody's role is being called to do this for you. Tell me about patience. Strength in the Nine of Wands, you tired. And then, but bottom of the deck is that Emperor. I'm hearing that song. I think it's "Take Me to the King." Truth is, I'm tired. Options are few. I forgot the rest of that, but all I'm hearing is "Truth is, I'm tired." Right underneath this Emperor is the Ace of Cups as well. So they're coming again. I just don't think they're at the top of 2026, but you definitely will not leave 2026 without meeting this person. I think you are genuinely tired and this person sees it. Like, maybe on the first date you may end up oversharing, quite a bit of what you've been through, and that's how they find out, oh, okay, this person is cautious, or they've been through some things. Maybe you end up rambling a little too much and just putting more out there than you normally would. And instead of this person flinching at that or being like, oh, red baggage, red flags, this is somebody that goes, oh, you haven't been protected. You haven't had somebody to care enough about you to protect you, not only from others, but also from themselves. You haven't had anybody to really see your essence in the way that it deserves to be seen or respected or treated. And they don't look at you as the problem. They don't look at it, well, what's wrong with Leo, or why can't Leo, find somebody, or why is Leo always choosing? They don't look at that. It's almost like with tender eyes. Like they feel, I don't want to say sympathy, like they feel sorry or pity for you, but it's like that you triggered that innate drive in them to protect, because they see that you've been out here unprotected or not having that. This is how, if you're a masculine, maybe you make somebody else feel like that, but they can just see like you're at this point. If love doesn't work, I'm okay. If this situation doesn't work out, maybe it is what it is. So they'll see that in you. Tell me why fire sign is here for the person. New love for Leo, Sun, the World in the reverse, and Temperance. So it could be a Sagittarius specifically. Yeah, it could be a Sagittarius. And let me see for this Guardian. What's going on with the Guardian energy? The Star in the reverse, Six of Cups in the reverse, and the Death. Again, this is either somebody who passed away or is on the other side. If this is somebody who passed away, this would be somebody you've known from your childhood or your younger ages. This would not be somebody you met as an adult that you formed a bond with that passed on, that's watching over you. This goes back to like your childhood. So it could be a family member, it could be a childhood friend. It could be an old lover, or if you were married in your younger years and your spouse passed and now you're, well down the line, this could be that spouse that's looking out for you, bringing you somebody in that's worthy of you. I just think this is the type of person you'll be meeting is somebody that you wish for when you were younger. Like when you're, I think about like high school love, you don't really have a sense or a grasp of the real world and like real relationship problems. And you're just, the idealization of what a relationship would be like with the person you're so in love with. That kind of person that you may have wanted in your younger years, that's what's coming up for you now that your guardian's bringing in for you. So if you haven't had the chance to really experience the love that you desired or idolized as a kid or growing up, or that you wanted in your youthful years, you're getting ready to have that with this person. You are. I think this person had to go through balancing out their life so that way they can come in and not bring chaos into yours. And I think that's part of why things were held up, right? Moving pieces in their world. And even at the top of 2026, they still have moving pieces because this world is in the reverse. So their cycle hasn't really closed out yet. So this is why you're not meeting them at the top of 2026, because they're being prepared to meet you later on in 2026. So this is like getting their mind right, getting their body right, getting their health right, their diet right. Like the things that a partner, everybody deems things important or not important, but I think things that you would deem important in a partner, even though they haven't met you, they're just naturally doing those things now. So that way when they do meet somebody that is right, that would be you, they're already ready. They don't have to get ready. So I see them trying to take really good care of themselves and spending a lot of time on their health, their wellness, their fitness, their mental space, right? Their mental health. So different from pile one, or the first spread. Well, yeah, pile one. But they're wanting to be their best selves, their best versions. I really like this for you. I genuinely like this energy for you. So let's see more. I want to see if we can see anything of how you would meet this person. All right, give me 1 second. Okay. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors, can you tell me how will my Leo sons with Earth Mars meet this person? We got change in the reverse. Maybe I have one more. Yes. And we got two more. We got change in the reverse. Expectation. House. Courthouse. Sudden wealth. So kind of like pile one, this reminds me of more of the circumstances you'll be dealing with at the time of meeting this person versus the actual, like, do you meet online or do you meet here? Do you meet there? I think this is just where you'll be. You may feel like life is at a still. It's like waiting for life to happen. You're going to be, and maybe this is also too, depending on where you're at in life right now, kind of letting you know where you're getting ready to be. I'm not mad at this. This is like, your bills are covered, you got your living situation, you got your routines. It's like there's nothing really happening in our lives at this moment when you meet this person. It's like waiting for something to happen, waiting for something to change, but nothing's really changing. You may find yourself just at home a lot more. Not because you're hibernating or not wanting to be social, but you just may find more comfort, right? You ain't got too much going on. You're just chilling, just enjoying. That's what it feels like. You're just the boring part of life. The boring part of life where you got your routines, you come home, go to work, do your thing. It's like you're in that space. You're not stressed out. You're not anxious. You're not overly excited in life. It's just like you're in this space of contentment. You're just content. Life is happening. This is the boring part of life right now. Nothing's really going on. I'm just content. That's the time frame when you meet this person. So maybe you're already in this energy. You're going to continue to be in this energy for some more months in 2026 until you meet this person. Or if life has been chaotic or scattered or things here and there, it's going to stabilize out. And that's the time frame that you meet this energy. One more. Why is courthouse here? Coffin. you're putting it into something, but this is like a legally binding agreement. So let's say this is towards the end of your lease, right? You may meet this person towards the end of your lease where you're getting ready to wrap that up and close out that chapter. This may be you being at the end of paying off your car note, about to wrap up that matter, done, wipe my hands with. It's a legal situation that's just been in the background, you know. Finally, that's being wrapped up, being handled. So you're meeting this person again, your personal life, steady, contentment, not much happening. It's the boring portion of life. This courthouse energy, which is like real background things that are happening, you're going to feel like that's closing out or it's done. It's like, okay, finally got my car note paid, or finally I paid off some of those debts, or that legal situation that I had going on, finally that's coming to a close. Like you're going to feel, even with that, content. Like, okay, just thank God I ain't got to deal with that no more. Thank God that's done. Right? So there's not too much, like I said, going on in your personal life. So what I want to see is how this person will feel towards you and how you will feel towards them. So spirit guides, angels, ancestors, God, let me know when it comes to Leo suns with Earth Venuses, how will their person feel about them in 2026? This new love. May I have one more? Okay. Really interesting. Maybe there could be more between us, but I wouldn't want to jeopardize our friendship. I really wish you would give me some space. I get excited when I think about how incredible we could be together. If you ask me, I will say no. And we're definitely not on the same page. I don't feel like this is towards you, though. I feel like this is your person admitting something to you about their feelings, but I don't think these are their direct feelings towards you. Excuse me. I don't think these are their direct feelings towards you. If there is because remember, I got this, they're getting their mind, body, spirit, all of that energy right for themselves, but you will be a byproduct of that. If there's somebody previously, whether it's like a close female friend or it could be male friend, depending on the gender, a close friend that just seems a little too close, or anything with their past, this is them confirming to you that, hey, no matter who's around me, I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize the friendship that we have built. This is how they're going to feel towards you. I'm not going to jeopardize anything towards the friendship we have built together. If you think me and this person have anything going on, I will outright tell you no. Me and that person, we're not on the same page. I'm not looking for what they're looking for. I already let them know that. I've made it very clear. Right? Even on the bottom of the deck, don't take this personally, but my heart belongs to somebody else. I don't think that's you. If there's somebody in their vicinity, this is like them telling that other person that, like, hey, I'm messing with Leo sun or Venus, and my heart belongs to them. I don't really want anything with you, right? And letting them know, I wish you would give me some space. I get this person telling somebody else a lot of these things and then communicating this to you, letting you know how they feel and why they're saying these things. Because I get excited when I think about how incredible we can be together, which is extremely polarizing from all of this, which lets me know how they feel about you. Is I'm excited about our future, but this other person or these other energies, I don't want. And I'm letting them know I don't want them. And I'm letting you know that I let them know that I'm not on the same page with them. I don't want them. My heart belongs to Leo sun or Venus. Stay over there. So I really like their spread. Tell me how Leo sun with Earth Venus will feel towards this person. Ooh, sorry, my stomach is growling. Oh, how will Leo sun and Earth Venus feel about this person? Let's get two more. Oh, we got quite a bit. Quite a bit. Yeah, your energy is way more geared towards them than there is. Well, it is still geared towards you, but I just think they're telling you about what they're telling somebody else. For you, your bottom of the deck is, I know you're my soulmate, and I find myself thinking about you a lot. We always, I'm always excited to talk to you about my friends, or talk to my friends about you, or talk about you to my friends. You're incredibly alluring to me. This is how you're feeling towards them. To be totally honest, you're not really my type. I've been showing my lack of interest, but you've been ignoring all the signals. I'm not the person you make, I'm not the person you make me out to be in your mind. And what are we waiting for? Let's do this. So this may be somebody who's different from, I don't get that you're not attracted to him though. Because there's a lot of like chemistry here between you two. So this may just be, maybe you had a certain type and this person defies that. And it's kind of like, oh, like you're not really my type, but I like the type that you are. I don't get it as negative with all these positive cards here. I just think this is somebody that diverts from your traditional or your norm. I think this is somebody that you can't wait to tell your people about, your friends. You find them very attractive. You may even find yourself, like the way you show that you're interested in this person may come off a little bit distant or detached. I know you got that Earth Venus, so as an Earth Moon personally, I know sometimes, at least with expressing my emotions, it can come off very like in not well, it can come off a little too formal and a little bit too like don't get close, but like close kind of thing. So with the Earth Venus, I'm sure you guys may have similarities to that, but not directly. So the way you show love and how you show it may be more practical, it may be more reliable. And this person receives it, but they may be used to a certain way of being shown interest. So it's like the way you're showing interest, they may receive it, but they're still not sure. And you're on the other side where it's like, oh, clearly I'm interested. Are you not telling? But I think the way you express love and the way that they receive it might be slightly different. So that could be a challenge that's absolutely overcomable, but I can see a potential challenge there with two different love languages. Can I get one more? Why am I not the person you make me out to be in your mind? I'm open to exploring things with you. Can't make any promises. So you don't want to rush things with this person. It's like you don't want to rush into sex and then now this person has a certain perspective about you. You don't want to rush too heavy into the commitment portion and now this person is thinking you're X. It's like you don't want to, I don't know if it's intentional or not, but you just want to show this person they're not like the rest. They're not like that you're not like the other women. You're not like the other men that they've been with. And by you having that high interest but low attachment energy to this person, I do think they really like that. I really do think they like that with you because it doesn't put pressure on them. You're not pressuring them. You're not putting pressure on them, which I do think grows that attraction even more. Okay, so let's see. Who is this person? Can you tell me who this person is? Tell me, who is this person for my Leo suns? Earth Venus. Whoa, we got the photographer. May I have one more? It says, observant and always ready, he'll capture everything except the moment you actually want. So definitely an artist. Oh, the gardener. This is beautiful for an Earth Venus. Nurturing and patient. He'll grow beautiful flowers. Just don't rush him. Exactly. And I don't think you have that pressure on this person to let's get to the bed or let's turn this into a commitment or what are we doing? All those questions. I think you're allowing this to flow organically, which allows them to feel comfortable. It allows them to feel safe. But also, too, for you, it allows you to feel safe because through that, you get to see how things develop. This could be somebody who is really good with cooking. That's the first thing that came to my mind. This could be somebody who's really good with cooking. They love the nature. They love wildlife, being out in the elements. This is somebody who, do they mind staying home? Absolutely not. But they're not a full-on homebody either, right? So they like somebody who has a good blend, which makes sense for Leo, Sun, Earth, Venus, that has a good blend, a blend of excitement and adventure and exploration, but also too knows how to chill out and sit down and just relax and enjoy the sensual pleasures of life. And I think with you and this person, you both will have that duality. Could be a photographer, could be a gardener. I think that's just more generalized. I think this is more so like the archetype of who they are. Somebody who's very somebody who's very introspective, somebody who has a great perspective on life. It's like this is a person who likes to see the glass half full versus half empty. So they're a motivator. They're your cheerleader. They like to nurture things and see it grow. They like to speak life into things. They like to see their creation take on a new form. Even with their partners, how they water them, they want to breathe life into them. They love being a part of their partner's growth process and growth experience in life. This is an all hands-on kind of person, kind of man or kind of woman. They want to be able to experience life moments, holidays, joys, birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, even deaths. Like all of life's moments are beautiful for this person in some way or form. It's like they have this perspective that can shift and they can always positively position something to gain a lesson, to gain a reward, some type of wisdom out of it. I like this person. They tend to keep their mind pretty mentally sharp, which makes a lot of sense why they are focusing a lot on, right now, why you two haven't met yet, on getting their body where they want it to be and focusing on their health and all of that great jazz. Okay. Can you tell me anything about this connection? As far as how will things develop between these two over the course of 2026? We got the Five of Cups. We have the King of Cups. We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. Devil in the reverse. I need to see why is the Five of Cups and the King of Cups here. We have the Queen of Pentacles on that King of Cups and the Nine of Swords on the Five of Cups. I like it. We got water and earth energy here along with this Queen of Swords. Why is this Queen of Swords here? Four of Swords in the reverse. I'm sorry, I'm getting quiet on this. Two of Wands. And after this, you can't go back anymore. Then what is being released? Why is this Devil here? Queen of Wands. There's a lot of people. King of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. There's too many people here. One more for this Five of Cups. Pages. So there's quite a few people that's going to try and be in your relationship and be in your business. I get you and this person being this King and Queen of Cups, right? Mutually aligned, mutually in sync. They provide the emotional stability You come with the loyalty, safety, and security. And of course, y'all both provide that, but I just think more the strengths, right? Being grounded. I think this is somebody who is able to handle and carry you emotionally. I just think you got people in your relationship that shouldn't be in your relationship. And I don't get like third party where this person is still married or in a relationship. It could be you two are very attractive people and things can be quiet for your love life right now. Things can be quiet for their love life right now. And then as soon as y'all get together, here come people coming out of the woodwork trying to holler at you or trying to get with you or trying to, because I get people trying to intervene in this relationship, which is causing some kind of anxiety, which does cause some kind of insecurities to be triggered. So there's going to be a point in 2026 where you two, no wonder why I was getting that energy of this person telling other women, or if it's a woman telling other men, hey, I'm not feeling you, I'm not wanting you like that. So it's probably this person that tends to get a lot of attention or is very attractive. Not saying you aren't, but it's very attractive or get a lot of attention where they have to kind of keep pushing people off of them. Like, hey, listen, I'm already with somebody, I'm good. But I can still see the triggers here where it is a bother, where it does become a burden, where it is almost a bit overwhelming and can start producing anxiety. So there's a choice, like I was saying, at some point in 2026 where you two are going to have to decide where this is going to go. Truly where this is going to go. And for you, I think you're the one that's laying down the law here, because you're still the Queen of Wands no matter what, even if the Queen of Pentacles is here. This would be like you laying down the law of, either we got to make some changes, or maybe you both are laying down the law here with each other. We got to make some changes, or I don't know how this is going to work. Or if you don't, maybe change your number or put these other women in place. I just get the feeling of respectful communication. I don't get arguing or fighting. Respectful communication of, hey, these are my boundaries. These are my needs. I like you. I'm liking what we're building. This is great. But I just keep getting uncomfortable that these other people are intervening. And I know you may not have much control over that, but we have to do something because this is just too much. It's people are in our business. People are in our relationship. People are trying to find out what we got going on. I just get that being like, not even necessarily a turn off, even though it can be, just more so you being in your head about it. Like it's creating some kind of anxiety. So what's to come of this then? What is to come of this? We got the 10 of Wands. I feel like this is your person. I think even in this moment or in moments of the connection, they're going to want to endure. So they're not going to give up easily. Just because, you set your boundaries or you make your mind very clear to this person, they're not going to just say, all right, well, that's too much to deal with, so I'm going to walk away. No, they will stand by your side. Again, I get this person being like your protector. The Wheel of Fortune and the Fool. So this might happen early on. Hopefully this doesn't happen throughout the connection at different points in times, but I think this might happen early on because the person you'll be dealing with, they're more than willing to endure fixing or removing or doing whatever they have to be able to keep this here with you with the Fool and the Wheel of Fortune. I think they feel like you are somebody who is destined and that the universe, God, spirit put on their lap. So how you might meet, maybe unconventional, that's the word. I think you two meet unconventionally. Like you meet, it's not in a traditional way. Even let's say if it's online, it might be on a dating app that you don't normally use or you haven't tried before. So maybe you always use Tinder, you might meet this person on Hinge. You always use Hinge, you might meet this person on Facebook dating. Use Facebook dating, you might meet this person on Bumble or Match.com or Christian Mingle, right? Or BLK. So many dating apps. But that's how I see. I don't think you meet in a conventional way. Despite how you meet, though, I think they're going to be willing to endure. I just think the problem, or more of a concern, I don't know if you'll call it a problem, but more of the concern is I think you just got a really attractive partner, or people that are like, they tend to magnetize women to them. And I don't think by them trying to be a player or a playboy, I just think they're somebody who's really desirable. Even if they are a straight and narrow kind of person, I just think they're really desirable. And it brings, I heard fans and then groupies, but I think it brings a lot of attraction to them. And I think in a relationship between you two, that outside interference may start to get annoying or may start to be too much. Maybe it's family or friends, right? Because in your side, you had, oh, I love telling my friends about us or about you. Your friends may start intervening into the relationship too much, which causes issues, whether they're giving their opinions or how they feel. So that is for my Earth sign Venuses with Leo suns. Okay. Okay, so we are back. So I want to take a look at my Leo Venus. Sorry, my Leo suns with water Venuses, right? I want to see what is coming in for you guys in 2026 with your love life. Uh-oh, some of these cards are backwards. Give me a second. What do we have here? We have move on. Someone is unavailable, a waste of time, it's over. Can I get two more? So we have move on. Tell me more about the new love for Leo, Sun, Water, Venus. They'll be back. No. I don't read this deck in the reverse, but this card did come up in the reverse. A liar. Be careful of someone sneaky. Okay. You know how they say a person will show you how they really don't listen to words. A person will show you how they truly feel about you. That's what this reminds me of. Be mindful in 2026. I don't care if it's this person or anybody else you meet. Be mindful of romantic projection. I know water Venuses tend to have an issue with that. I'm a Cancer Venus. I'm a water Venus, so I know personally. Be mindful of romantic projection because we may be projecting onto this person that they want us or desire us more than what they truly do. It's like somebody can give you the signs, but it's like, oh, we may give grace, we may overlook it, we may try to give them a chance. When they're showing you, they don't have, this is not the person that's going to tell you, hey, I'm not really feeling this, or hey, I'm not really feeling this connection. They're going to show you by pulling back. They're going to show you, because I don't think this person is a liar, but I think how they move, instead of being upright or forthright with how they're feeling, they may just start to pull back their energy, and it leaves you wondering or leaves you guessing, like, hey, what's going on? You may end up finding yourself, thinking they'll be back or they'll come back around. Maybe you start watching you're watching the YouTube tarot videos and they're telling you, hey, this person is going to come back. This is just a time period that you guys need away, but they'll be back. So there's like this tether of hope, but they don't come back, right? Bottom of the deck is air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. So they could have a water sun. They could have a water Venus and have an air sun. Maybe they have an air Venus and you have a water Venus, which is incompatible for what we need out of love, right? You need that affection, that attention, that loyalty, and that consistency, where air sign Venuses need friendship and they need detachment and space and independence, which again, as a water Venus, does not swing well when it comes to feeling appreciated and having our needs met. So you may be dealing with somebody who has an incompatible Venus with yours, even though the air sign energy is compatible with your sun, but the way that they show love is not necessarily compatible. And this is why I can see this. Well, they'll be back because based off maybe your sun energies, it's like we see each other, we get each other's ego, we get each other's identity, we see each other at our core of who we are, our personality. But when it comes time to love and affection and what we need, this person may be more on the I don't want to say defense, but I think this person is just more detached. Be mindful of not getting caught up in the runner chaser dynamic. Even if you're naturally not a chaser, I just think this person's level of detachment or independence that they need can leave you at times wondering, hey, what's going on? What's happening, right? Which can then start to develop that runner chaser dynamic. So tell me, I'm gonna look for my cards. Tell me more about this energy here for my Leo Suns, Water Venuses. Tell me why move on is here. And let's get one more shuffle. Tell me why move on is here for my Leo Suns, Water Venuses. Excuse me. All right, give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay, we are back. Bottom of the deck. I haven't looked at it since I paused. We got the King of Swords in the reverse. Again, that air sign energy, that level of detachment is coming through. Tell me why move on is here for Leo Sun, Water Venus. We got the 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands in the reverse, and the Lovers. Ooh, you're going to have to choose between this connection and your independence. And I don't think this is a choice that you make in a peaceful energy. This feels like a choice that you end up making out of frustration. Whether it's the frustration of, you know what, this is the person that I want. I'm willing to work through the challenges. I'm tired of the challenges, but I'm willing to make it work for this person. You know, I want to keep dealing with them. Or you may feel like, you know what, maybe I need to move on despite the connection I feel with this person. Despite the connection that I feel with this person, it's just too much to deal with. You know, again, I get 2 different love languages here. Why is they'll be back? 7 of Wands. And the Wheel of Fortune. Oop, like dropping everything. 7 of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So I think there's this feeling, like how I mentioned, because they are going to pull on your heartstrings, and I think that level of detachment is going to have our Water Venus wanting to know what's happening, what's going on, why are you a little more detached? I get at a certain period after meeting this person, dealing with this person, maybe being with them for some time, that there is a wall that gets put up. So whatever choice that is made here to move on, we may be thinking maybe it's them, right? But I'm just going to say it's you, just to make things easier, not confuse me or yourself. You know, you may end up having to make a choice. And there's this feeling of, oh, well, they'll be back. You know, if we had a lot going, or I know they felt that connection like I felt it too. But then the 7 of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, this is like, no, that door's closed. The cycle's over. Tell me why no is here. 10 of Wands. It's too much. Ooh, what's going on? Leo, Sun, Water, Venus. Liar. Why is Liar here in the reverse? Queen of Wands. One more. 10 of Swords. You end up choosing yourself. So if I was to end, but then the Death on the bottom, there's still going to be, you're going to meet somebody. So this lets me know this is a deeply spiritual connection because you do feel tethered to them. And I think this is somebody, at least for you, Leo, Sun, Water, Venuses, out of the other 2 that I've already done, the Fire Venus and the Earth Venus, this feels more like a karmic lesson in 2026 versus the person you settle down with and marry and have all of the major milestones in life with. This is somebody who is going to be activating some type of karmic awakening, karmic lesson for you to understand maybe certain parts of ourselves where we may self-abandon or where we're not seeing the signs clearly when it comes to a person. Because I can see you and see the Lovers here, there is something that goes deep emotionally. So we're going to get into that between you 2 that allows you to want to take them seriously or get to know them or even be willing to stick something out with them, right? Because I can see you want to have a connection with them, but it kind of gets to a boiling point where it's like, okay, either it's this connection or it's me. And I think this person is going to show you as time goes on that they are not as invested as you are invested in them. They're not going to communicate that to you. So you might feel like, oh, well, they're lying to me by omission. They're not omitting information. Maybe there is something else going on. It's like how we start to fill in the blanks because we don't have the rest of the information. So our mind starts to go on a whirlwind. That's what this reminds me of. Like, you start to fill in the blanks of what they're not telling you and feeling like, you know what, maybe I do need to choose myself. I don't think this person is lying to you. I just think they're showing you how they really feel about you, but maybe we're not fully digesting it and processing that. So tell me, how does these two meet? So maybe for you guys, this is more of like a heads up. More of a heads up on what's to come in your 2026, so that way you know how to navigate it. How does Leo Sun with the Water Venus meet this energy in their 2026? We got the Journey popping out in the reverse. So we have gift change, great fortune, wealthy man, and journey. I'm getting the Jupiter transit. I know Jupiter is currently in Cancer, but Jupiter goes into Leo, I believe, mid-2026. Jupiter brings blessings and abundance, but it also expands anything that it touches. If I'm going into astrology for a moment, it's like Jupiter going into the sign of Leo, but it's squaring an important planet in your chart. So it could be squaring your 7th house ruler, which is the house for our relationships. It could be squaring your 5th house ruler, which is the house of dating, romance, love. It could be squaring your Venus or your moon. Something here is off, because I can see a high, but I see a low. I think you're going to be in a period of your life, it's telling me more of the circumstances, like it did with the other three, versus outright. I think you're going to be in a circumstance where life, I would say more so when it comes to your stability, is not where you would want it to be. Maybe you're in a position of wanting to change jobs, but you're not knowing what you would want to do next. Maybe you're dissatisfied with your job. Maybe you're even dissatisfied with your living situation. You're wanting to move from that location, but maybe you don't have the resources or the funds. It's like you're ready for a change and a switch up, but you don't have at the moment what you would need to get it done, to get it handled. So maybe your credit's not where you want it to be and you need to get a new car. But because of your credit, it's like, all right, well, maybe not right now, or I need to save some more. So I can see a tight financial position that you're in when this person comes into your life. Okay. Tell me more. How will this person feel towards Leo, right? My Leo Sun with Water Venuses. How will this person feel towards the Leo Sun with the Water Venus? I am curious for your pile out of the other two that I've done so far. Like, how does this start off at the beginning? For you to have that deep connection or attachment to this person. So how does this person feel about Leo Sun, Water Venus? Way too many. We got a lot here. Okay. So we have, there are so many feelings I want to share with you, but I'm shy about opening up. So we have secret here. I relate to you on so many levels. I'm not looking for anything real right now. I think we have a pretty unique connection. Oh, we got another one here. I don't really see you in a romantic way. Maybe there could be more between us, but I wouldn't want to jeopardize our friendship. Ask me If you ask me, I will say yes, and I know you're my soulmate. So you two start off with a really good or strong friendship basis. Again, they may have that air Venus because air Venuses need that, or people who have heavy Aquarius or Uranus in their charts, they need that entry point to be friendship. Otherwise, it's hard to build a connection. So I think you two start off with a really solid friendship. Like you guys have that really great connection. Like the foundation here is solid. That's the one thing I will say. How you two build towards something, this is solid. You want to start at this type of level. I just don't think this person's feelings increases past the level you two develop. So if you guys build a really tight bond of friendship, the natural progression is, well, let's make this into something more. Let's turn this into a relationship. And I think this person will absolutely try because they feel like you're their soulmate. They feel like they have a strong connection with you. They have feelings towards you. But I think and they relate to you a lot. But I think as you two try to go more of a romantic route after building that friendship, I think this person is going to be hard to see something more than just a friendship with you. So this person may really be into you. They may like you. Yeah, they may want to have sex with you, but they don't see you past that level. Even when they try to see if, for them it will work being something more than friends, I don't think for them it really does. I would say be mindful of not to get, well, no, I don't think this person would friend zone you. But I would be mindful to not ruin a friendship with a person like this, that once they try to see what else is there, they renege. And now it's hard to go back to being a friend because how you just did me, So that's a little tricky with their energy. Tell me, how will Leo Sun with a water Venus feel about this person? We have, am I even good enough for you? I love everything about you. I recognize how special and unique you are. I think you're great, but I'm worried about what other people would think. I really value your opinion and the unique perspective you have to offer. Anything else for how Leo Sun, Water Venus will feel towards this person? Anything else? Oh, we got quite a few more. Okay. So we have afraid. If I tell you how I feel, it might change everything. I don't have feelings for you, but I don't want to hurt your feelings either. It's comforting to know we have each other's support when it matters. I find myself thinking about you a lot. There's an energy, a vibe between us that cannot be denied. I feel like this person is going to have you questioning your self-worth. Again, I get them not being a liar, but like omitting information, not telling you stuff. Or even just their level of detachment that they can have. It almost makes you question how you show up, or are you doing something wrong, or are you good enough, or does I can see this person putting you in their head, because when they try to develop something more for you outside of the friendship you initially built, I just don't think it connects fully for them in a romantic way, not a sexual way. Sexual might hit, the friendship conversation might hit, but when it's time to show feelings and expression of affection and deeper levels of intimacy, I think that's where for them there's a disconnect. Where on your end, I love everything about you, so you are more deeply invested emotionally. You really take this person's critique and how they view you to heart. I think it's important to you. You definitely would want more. I don't think you would want to jeopardize the friendship, but because you do have these energies and feelings towards them, for you, you would feel like it's worth crossing that line to see what goes there. I don't think you necessarily pressure this person for something more. I just think the buildup naturally will make you to want to have something more, but then this person realizes in time of that new experience that maybe we're better as friends, not really romantic. And I don't think they confess that to you. I just think they just start omitting information. They stop telling you less. They start moving a little bit differently. They stop communicating certain things where you may think they're lying or that they're dealing with other people when it's really they're just not really feeling you on that level like that. Okay. I'm going to look and see, how does this connection start off at the beginning, and then how does this connection leave off for you two? So tell me, between Leo, Sun, Water, Venus, and whomever they will be dealing with romantically in 2026, the new love, can you tell me, how does this start off romantically between these two? Anything else that you could tell me how it starts off romantically for these two? We have the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Knight of Wands in the reverse, Eight of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. Eight of Swords, Six of Swords. Page of Swords and the King of Wands in the reverse. So again, there's the polarity here. We got the Queen of Cups in the upright and then the King of Wands in the reverse. So they really haven't. This kind of reminds me of Power One a little bit that I did for the Fire Venus. Because how it starts off is beautiful. Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups, Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. So it starts off you two actually investing in each other. So I probably should have gotten to this part more earlier on in this reading, so it doesn't seem so polarizing, like, dang, this is a harsh read, right? But it makes sense, because if we're finding ourselves in that crossroads later on in the connection, well, we have to have some level of deep emotional attachment to get us to that crossroad place, right? Without it, it wouldn't be a hard decision. And I can see there's actual affection, there's actual investment, there's spending time together, there's getting to know each other, a natural curiosity about one another, spilling secrets, opening up about life experiences, things we've learned and moved on from, our interests, our hobbies, even participating in our interests and hobbies with one another. So there is a buildup, right? There's this genuine, like, I'm feeling you, you feeling me. I look at the King of Wands in the reverse a little bit here. I think their energy on surface, and this is where you'll start to see it waver, on surface they may seem steadfast, they may not seem as reckless or impulsive as they would have been in their earlier years. They seem more grounded, right? They're trying to be more mindful of the actions that they take and not just come in and F stuff up. But they still have that side of them. They haven't fully matured into that energy yet. So I think their level of maturity is the self-awareness that they have a tendency to do those things. But actual implementation to not do those things is still a work in progress. This is why you end up getting a person who becomes more detached and distant versus communicating, because they know they have a tendency to do that, but they haven't worked on how not to do that or why you need to stop doing that. So you may find it's like things are really great. You may feel though at times this person may prioritize themselves or kind of think of themselves versus thinking of you. Not to say you're necessarily a second thought, but this person may say, you know, my career is important right now, or I got to get to this certain level of where I want to be, or my life is turning in this direction. And that's where I'm putting a lot of, you may notice that they have a lot of focus in their ambitions and their career or their drive of personal motivations, that they may not be giving the same amount of energy towards you, but you don't feel like they're being reckless about it. You feel like they're communicating that. They're giving you an understanding of, hey, this is my focus. They may be reassuring you through daily efforts that, hey, even though I'm putting a lot of my attention in my career right now, I do want to get to know you. I love this friendship that we're building. I want to spend time with you. I want to be able to see you, etc. So it may make it digestible to continue to deal with this situation until it gets to a point where you actually start to see that recklessness come out, right? Or this person not communicating, or this person starts holding back. And I think, again, it goes back to, despite the initial interest here, the love part, the deep romance, I think it's not equally mutual. Once we start to continue to get to know each other, develop, and all of that, I think this person's feelings stay at the surface where yours run deep. And this person doesn't really communicate that. So at the beginning, it looks nice. I can see you two actually putting in that energy. But let's see, where does this connection end between you two? Or where does it end up? Better yet, where does this connection end up between Leo, Sun, and Water, Venus? Where does this connection end up between Leo, Sun, and Water, Venus? King of Swords in the reverse. High Priestess in the reverse. Queen of Cups again. Three of Cups. Eight of Cups in the reverse, but the Ace of Wands in the reverse underneath that. Two of Cups. Some people are better as friends. I think that's the realization that you're going to come to by the end of 2026, or towards the end of this connection with this person, that some people just make better friends than they do lovers. And I think that's one of the things that you're going to understand through how this person is going to operate, by omitting stuff, or like just not confessing like, hey, my feelings haven't really grown past the friendship stage, but I know you're really feeling me beyond that, and I don't know how to communicate that to you, that I just would like to be a friend with you. You're going to be able to tell by their lack of divulging that information that, you know what, maybe we should just stay friends. Some people are just better as friends versus lovers. And again, we get that. Eight of Cups in the reverse, Ace of Wands in the reverse, Two of Cups. I don't see you two totally like blocking each other, never talking to each other again. But I can definitely see some distance. But it's like there's, you know, you ever had like an old friend that used to be so close with, and then as years go on, you get into your own life and you look back, and it's like you could look back at tender eyes like, damn, we had some really great memories, but you're moved on. You know, you're not trying to go back and rekindle that, or you've evolved past that person. That's what this reminds me of. You two may end up going your separate ways, but deciding like, hey, you know, let's still keep in contact, or let's still, you know, keep each other on social media. But, you know, maybe this is just, we just are not meant as a relationship couple, you know, because I can still see you being able to see what they have going on or what they're doing, and being able to kind of look at them with fondness, and them look at you with fondness. But I don't see like an actual relationship here. So I don't think it progresses into that. All right, so let's see. Hey there for Leo Sun. I had to think about it. For Leo Sun and Air Venus. This is new love for you for 2026. What is coming in? We've already gone through all of the other Venus signs. So if you are Leo Sun with an Air Venus, this one is for you. So let's take a look. What is coming in as far as new love for my Leo Suns with an Air Venus in 2026? Whoa, we got pregnancy. Who's getting pregnant, or who's getting somebody pregnant? Mercury retrograde. I'm hearing vasectomy. Whoa. Love spell is on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like this moving on is what you're leaving behind. So you're moving out of an old chapter of your love life. Mercury retrograde and pregnancy both coming out here. Love spell being on the bottom of the deck. For quite a few of you, I actually want to say a lot, which I know not everybody's wanting or desiring pregnancy. But let me give you an example. Let's say if you're able to have kids, but your person has already had kids, or maybe older and they had a vasectomy. this may be them reversing that vasectomy so that way you guys can have kids if you want kids. Or maybe this is one of those things where maybe you didn't think about having kids, you didn't want kids, or you already had your kids, so you're done. This person may make you rethink, oh, maybe I do want a child with them, right? Maybe I do want kids. If you are, let's say, at an age where pregnancy is just too high risk, or it's not something that you know that you would not want to do, this feels like anticipation. It's like we may have had moments in our, I don't want to say in our lives, but we may have had times where we thought our person was going to come in, or we thought we were going to get new love, but it didn't happen. And now that it's happening, it's like, oh, shoot, it's really so now we're having to go back and change our thinking about love, or prepare now for love, because, oh, it's finally actually happening. All of those false starts that I thought was actually going to be something wasn't. Now it's here. Now I have to go back and rewire that thinking, that love may have not been for me, or it wasn't coming, or I shouldn't expect something, or maybe my intuition's off because I kept getting hints, but it didn't happen. I just get you having to revise your mental process. But in the larger part, this is actually like a pregnant, like I'm getting like, kids. Especially with that love spell, it reminds me of, one of them very passionate nights. Could be, you two drinking. Could just be you're so high off of the time that y'all are having, and just in that moment where, not, we all know better, but sometimes when you're so immersed in that sexual experience with somebody, you don't want to have to say, hey, go get a condom, or, you know what, maybe it's TMI. Sometimes you don't want to say, go get a condom, or sometimes, it's feeling good, but you so in the moment, it's like, take it off. There's something here that it's just being high on each other where you create a new life. Being so immersed in this person. Oh, man. Tell me about moving on. Why is moving on here? Strength in the reverse. That's your energy. Six of Swords. Yeah, I think there's still a little bit of some mental baggage here from what you have had to move on. But that's because what you've dealt with has just been tiring, whether it's been a long single season, or the relationships, or even the dating cycles you've been in. It's just like, I'm drained. I'm tired. Like, I can't really do this. That's what I'm getting. Like, if it's not a pregnancy, having these false starts, and then once this person comes, having to revise your thinking about love because, oh, shoot, it finally just happened. Tell me about Mercury retrograde. Why is this here? We have the King of Wands and the Two of Cups. That's what I'm saying. It's like, it's here, but I didn't think it was going to happen. Ace of Wands in the reverse. Even for this pregnancy, you may feel like we didn't even get a chance to deepen the bond yet before I ended up pregnant. Well, not me, but, you guys. It's like we haven't even got a chance to go deep or really get there, and then all of a sudden I'm pregnant. So you might find yourself getting pregnant early on while still trying to get to know each other, develop the bond, or develop those experiences with one another. Because I don't get that Two of Cups in the reverse as a lack of love. I just think you guys haven't been able to be with each other long enough to develop that depth of love that the Two of Cups require. Why is the pregnancy here? Why is pregnancy energy here? We got Justice. But it's karmically destined. Whether it's an actual pregnancy or just a new experience, this is karmically destined. So it's like Eight of Wands in the reverse, and the Four of Wands. This is like a spirit baby. Yeah, somebody may have gotten a vasectomy or tied their tubes and said, no more kids. And the universe is saying, you still got one more spirit baby that's meant to come. I know in your time, you said you don't want any more kids, but it's me, spirit, I'm telling you, I got one more child here for you that's meant to be yours. So I see it's like a pregnancy happening despite circumstances or obstacles. Maybe somebody struggles with infertility and then think they can get pregnant, and all of a sudden they end up getting pregnant by this person. But it's because that child's supposed to be here. You have a spirit baby with this person. The past life it stems from, but you're meant to create new life. I just think it happens really, really early on. Like really early on. This could be weeks, days, months into the connection, and boom, you're pregnant. But that baby's meant to come. So tell me more. I want to see kind of how you two meet. Actually, I like all of the readings for different reasons, but I really like yours probably the most, just because it's the most unexpected. But leave it to an air Venus, you know. So let's see how these two meet. Anything you could tell me, Spirit, on how these two may meet? I can tell you for the other three, it's been more so the circumstances that surround the meeting versus the meeting itself, but hopefully yours has some insight. We got the privileged lady, main male, both coming up in the reverse. Family room, marriage, despair. I feel like this happened so quick. I don't think I've ever had a reading like this. I don't think I'd see. Oh, I want to do larger collective readings, because to get into deeper energies and like new situations is so mind-boggling to me, because I'm so used to reading for Leos that when you start pulling in other elements, you start to see things a little more dynamically. I don't think I've pulled a reading like this before. This is like you meet somebody, y'all hit it off really, really, really quickly from the start. I see pregnancy happening here that leads to either a marriage or a full-term commitment, but it feels like the pregnancy is what triggers it. It's like, okay, we're expecting, we have to now start, dealing with this, and also the blooming of a new relationship, so I think that speeds you to faster into a new dynamic of a relationship or of a marriage. I think these are two people, you and them, that have been single, that have not been chosen, that are both looking for the same thing. It's like you both want what's getting ready to happen to you two in 2026. I just don't think you guys would have wanted the pace to be as fast as it's going to happen. I think you both are wanting family. You both are wanting marriage. You both are wanting the house and home, or even to integrate families. If it's not a literal pregnancy, it's just the birth of this new situation, but you may not be planning on merging families as quickly as you do, especially if you like to wait some time to introduce your children to a new person or a family. It's like that ends up happening really quick. We end up in a relationship really quick. We get engaged really quick. It just, none of this seems planned, but it's like the universe forces your hands. It's like you two may be okay by yourselves, but you guys don't do as well like you do when you are together. Because separately, you both may be dealing with some level of despair in your life around the time that you meet in some way. So maybe you're used to being the privileged lady, but you may be in a season of your life where you're not feeling as privileged. Maybe you don't have the same amount of resources. Maybe you're not feeling as attractive or as lovable. Maybe you feel like life isn't really going your way. Even with this main male, they may have felt like they weren't chosen in prior relationships, that they get overlooked. Maybe they feel like they were the side person, or they were cheated on in their connections, right? So I can see you both dealing with some level of personal despair around the time that you meet. But it's like you two, like two people who desire genuine love, coming together and knowing exactly what they want, can verbalize it. They meet, and immediately the universe says, all right, time to get things rolling. And I see things happening like, we meet, kid, relation, like it's backwards. I see a kid, then the relationship, a kid, and then the marriage here coming on for you two. Or you two intermingling families first, And then we get into a relationship. So it's like backwards here. But it's because you both know what you want. So it's like, well, we don't really have to. I want you, you want me. We're certain about it. We don't really have to play all these games, or I'm not sure, or I want to keep my options open, or there's still some stragglers from the past. You both know the level of despair because you both were going to be in it to a degree when y'all meet. So it's like, even in that, y'all both find solace within each other. And I think that emotional intimacy, that bond, also heightens that sexual energy, that emotional energy. Again, love spell, right? That dopamine hit and rush. So this is, it's not telling me you're going to meet this person at a family well, I mean, it could be a family gathering with the family room, but it's not saying specifically work, family gathering online. It's just telling me where you're going to be at and where they're going to be at when you two cross paths in 2026. So tell me, how will this person for Leo Sun Air Venus feel about Leo Sun with an Air Venus? Oh, can't take this. This is like an extra. Tell me more. How will this person feel about Leo Sun, Air Venus? Okay, so these are going to read a little gnarly, but I'll explain it. It's comforting to know that we have each other's support when it matters. I don't really see you in a romantic way. You're incredibly alluring to me right now. The most loving thing you can do is let me go. I could talk to you for hours and hours. Maybe there could be more between us, but I wouldn't want to jeopardize our friendship. And I do like you, and a lot of other people like you too. I think this goes back to this person's own self-esteem and insecurity. It's like meeting somebody like you. I think it almost triggers that fight or flight response. It will not make them run, because again, I see a lot of this happening really quickly, but I think this is internalized where they have that fight or flight response. Again, I think this is somebody who's been a side man or side chick. This could have been somebody that's been cheated on. This could have been somebody who was made to feel like they weren't chosen, or they weren't valuable, or they weren't desirable. So when they meet somebody like you with a privileged lady, I think this is almost them psyching themselves out, self-sabotaging. There we go. This person self-sabotaging internally the connection. I don't see them doing it externally. So they may start telling themselves like, maybe I should just be friends with them. I like Leo Sun, Air Venus, but I'm sure other people like them too. They're very attractive. I don't think that they don't see you in a romantic way. I think they're just trying to tell themselves maybe I shouldn't go there with Leo Sun, Leo Sun, Air Venus, that they shouldn't go there with you in a romantic way. And maybe they should let this go. I just don't think they want to be hurt. So they're almost trying to convince themselves why they should let this go before anything begins, so that way they don't have to get hurt. But nonetheless, they find you incredibly alluring. They love conversating with you, and they feel like you're there when it truly matters. So let's see, how will you feel about this person? Oh, you're captivated. You are captivated, sweetheart. Ooh. I can't help but be interested in everything you do. I find myself thinking a lot about you. I often wonder if you feel the same way. There's an energy between us, a vibe that can't be denied. I want to spend more time with you. So again, I think your self-esteem or esteem issues may surface from more external situations like stability, your work, career, job, being able to afford the things that you want, maybe even your physical appearance right now. You may not be feeling physically your most attractive or anything like that, but emotionally, your heart space is available. This is why I see so much rich love energy here, rich interest. You feel the same way as this person, or you at least wonder if they feel that way too. But I think instinctually, you think about this person, you're so interested in everything. You may find this person very fascinating. You want to spend more time with this person, right? So your emotional heart is open. This person's emotional heart is open with the caveat of their trauma. They want you, but their past experiences may say, well, am I good enough? Or I dealt with X, Y, and Z. Can I even open my heart? So there is a little bit of being emotionally constipated. And I can normally say that word, but I can't right now. Being emotionally constipated here. But it's not, please take my words, it will not stop this person from moving forward with you. This is just their internal feelings. It will not stop anything externally, because this does move fast. And maybe that's probably one on the spiritual level, why one of the reasons why pregnancy does happen fast here for you too, because it locks you two in before somebody has a chance to self-sabotage, which is this person, right? It locks you two into the connection, so they can't easily run away. You know, now we have this new life experience we have to deal with one another. All right, can you tell me more about who this person may be? We got the Artist. Sensitive and broke, he'll capture your soul but can't capture a paycheck. That card always makes me laugh. All right, let's get one more. The Therapist. This already came out before. The Artist and the Therapist. So they're very creative. Something about them is eccentric, and that's what you're gonna like. But mind you, you have an air Venus, right? So you guys tend to gravitate to that energy. People who are different, people who have a different edge to them. They're not run of the mill. I think this is somebody who can fit in with the mold, but they also break the mold because they don't like to follow what everybody else is doing. They like to live on their own terms. They could be an artist. They could be a therapist as far as occupations go. I think this is them doing something that they genuinely love, no matter what it is. This is something that they can talk about, something that they can listen to other people talk about all day. This is a person who is so immersed in their passion that their work doesn't feel like work because they genuinely love it. Like they can do this all day. Maybe they have a really creative spirit, a really creative side. Also, too, they're a really great listener. They're going to muse. Oh, you're going to be this person's muse. Ooh. This person is going to view you as their muse. And not just aesthetically, but also to what you've been through. Something about that is very aspirational. You inspire this person. This is why you are this person's muse, because who you are on the inside and what you've dealt with, but also how you look. Like they're going to feel like you are absolutely beautiful. Like you are somebody I want to learn about, study about, I want to digest. I just want to be intoxicated by. I want to write poems about you, music about you. And I know I'm going kind of artsy-fartsy here, but there is a creative tone. So this could even be more in practical reality, a person making playlists with songs that remind them of you, or somebody creating videos that reminds them of you, or something here. Art, anything. Right, give me some. Okay. What we got for this artist? We got the 8 of Cups, Therapist, Temperance. They're very healing. This is somebody who takes really good care of themselves in some way, so they may gym, they may have a really good diet. This could be a person that actually goes to therapy or has been to therapy. I just feel like they're really balanced. They're really grounded. This could be somebody with a Sagittarius sun and a air Venus. You know, so you're a Leo sun with the air Venus. They could be a Sagittarius sun with an air Venus. But they're really grounded. They're really calm, cool, and collected. This is like you're calm in the storm. Like when you start feeling overwhelmed or burnt out, they're a safe space to land. Like they will know how to help you decompress. They may even want to talk you through it. Ooh. Ooh. See, I don't like getting on y'all sexy time, and I immediately got sexy time energy with that. This may be the type of person that want to talk you through it, you know, in the bedroom. And that may be also a new experience for you, or you like when that's done. You know, it helps you get to where you need to get to. Could also be why you end up getting pregnant. I see him being this person being so nurturing, like wanting to investigate your. I'm getting sexual energy again. Pregnancy is for sure here, because I get somebody wanting to study your body, like your anatomy. They want to know how you tick, if they touch here, or how you respond if they kiss there, or how you're. Anyway, okay. This person's definitely gonna be turned on by you. So let's see, how does this progress between these two in 2026? Let's see, how does things progress in 2026 for these two? We got the Knight of Cups in the reverse. I'm sorry, you know what? That's in the upper. I'm looking at the card wrong. Knight of Cups here. Let's see what else we got. We have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. The Moon. We got the Hangman in the reverse. Four of Wands and the Two of Swords. And that Four of Wands is in the reverse. Queen of Pentacles. Tell me about this moon being here for how things will progress for these two in 2026. We got the Hermit in the reverse. Yeah, so that period of being a lone wolf, having to go through life on your own, handle it on your own, that independent spirit, nothing wrong with it. That's coming to an end. You're coming out of that it's me, myself, and I got it, I got me kind of energy. I got to do this for myself, etc. If you already got kids, it's me and my kids, and I got to make a way to make this work. No, you got somebody that's coming in that's going to shake up the table with all of that. I just don't think, I keep getting, y'all do not, you can say, Mariah, I'm not having kids. I can't have kids. I'm not planning on having kids. I got my tubes tied. I already had my babies. Or you say, Mariah, I got a vasectomy. Or I can't have kids because of prior health habits that I had back in the day that prevents me now to have kids. It's just not. And I don't see that you see that comes together in that. It's like what you determined was not meant actually is meant. So your timeline may make sense for you, but that ain't the same timeline Spirit is on. And it's not the same outcomes that Spirit wants for you. So I see this progressing. I genuinely do. Knight of Cups, again, I get that child energy early on here, especially with that being the first thing out. Why is this Wheel of Fortune in the reverse? Three of Swords. There is a problem here. I don't think the problem is between you two per se. I think the problem may be with family because of how quickly things move. You just met this person and all of a sudden you're pregnant by him, or you just met this person and all of a sudden you're ready to make life changes for this person, which is not traditionally air Venus energy, except for maybe Aquarius, because Uranus rules it. It's the unexpected, so expect the unexpected. But I think with this person, family may feel like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Or it's too soon, it's too early. Or maybe their family is feeling like that, like this needs to come to an end. Or if there's an early pregnancy, are you sure you want to keep the baby, given that you only known this person for so long? Or are you sure you're wanting to merge lives like this and you've only met this person, however many months or weeks or days ago, like whatever it may be? But there's such a certainty on, this is the choice that I'm making. You can't tell me one way or the other. I am like, it's like fingers in ear, la la, I can't hear you when people around you are saying, hey, just reconsider and think about it. It's like you two are both, no, this is what we want. This is what we want. So I don't see you allowing, or them, family, other people, maybe your existing kids, to intervene on how this plays out. And I think Spirit, the universe, is going to clear way. So even if other people have their opinions and critiques, they can't stop what's meant to be in motion. That's why I think whatever's getting ready to be in motion when you two do meet, happens early on, because at that point, we now have a child, or and I'm now pregnant, or I'm now letting this person meet my family. Once we go there, we can't go back. This is why Spirit is putting those things there, because it's meant for you to have something significant with one another and not allow other people to deter it. And because there's a major milestone you two are going to have extremely early on, it's going to be hard for other people to intercept that, because now Spirit has put something between you two that you can't easily eliminate or you can't easily take back. So now you two are going to have to make this connection work, however you guys are going to make it work. But you two are meant to deal with each other. You two are meant to be with each other, despite what other people say. So I think this is I like the reading. Me personally, I like this reading, but I'm going to leave it there. So hopefully this has made sense. It's given some insight, some help. It's been a pleasure to read for all of you, and you take care. Bye.